Yo, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today, April 30th, Thursday, 2:44 p.m. The Natasha Denona Safari palette is half off. I saw the email yesterday. I was like, whoa, half off. And I was like, well, dang, that's kind of messed up because the Sephora sale is going on right now. You can get it for 20% off over there. So if you purchase it from there, which I know somebody did, that's annoying, and now it is officially half off on her website. I know this was a limited edition palette, so I'm guessing it's about to go bye-bye. So if you are someone who's been thinking about this palette, you weren't sure, I have a tutorial dedicated to this palette today. Let's go ahead and get into it. Then afterwards, I'll give you my thoughts because you guys know I have been loving this palette. Alrighty, I already primed Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine. You know the deal. Going in here with our first shade. I'm not even gonna make an attempt to pronounce some of these. So this tone right here, focus for me. We're gonna take this and we're gonna start off in the crease. And I have been going, whoa, I don't think I cleaned that. Whoa. Okay. So taking a N514 and going a little bit above my crease because I've really been enjoying taking my shadows up higher. Now, of course, this is going to vary if you're able to do this depending on your eye shape, so please keep that in mind. I have quite a bit space up here, so I can do that. See how easy this is to blend? And we're just going all the way in and all the way out. Next up, we're going to take this taupey tan tone right here, and this is going to go up under the brow bone, still using that same brush. And I'm just going to start by tapping and then blending that in with our first shade. All right, next up, transitioning over to a flat brush, we're going to take this almost lilac, this very, very light purple shade right here. Right here. And this is going on our inner corner. For some people, this might be too light for them. I don't mind the lightness on the inner tier. That's just my preference. Now, if you're someone who you don't like lightness on the inner tier, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be because of the set of your eye. So if you are someone who already has big, wide, or maybe like a bubbly set eye, and you put a lighter shade in here, it's going to protrude, make your eyes protrude and look even bigger. So for anyone who has that eye shape, I typically stray away, and this has nothing to do with their skin tone. This is just strictly eye shape. I won't put any lightness in the inner tier. Now, if you're someone who has maybe a smaller set eye, yeah, go for it. Standard set like mine, do so. But if you have more of a bigger set eye and you do this, this can appear for your eyes to look bigger than maybe what you want them to look. Again, just preference. So I'm packing this in the inner, and I'm also taking it up a little bit in the crease as well. And it's okay if it gets on the lower bottom inner tear duct. I think some people don't like shades like these because they feel like maybe it's not a shade that they can put all over the lid. And that's fair. Again, everybody has a preference. Again, I don't mind it. Lighter shades are in palettes for a reason, you know what I mean? Just kind of like with the face, how you highlight and contour your face is the same situation with your eye as well. Some shades might appear to look too light, however, there is a place for them. Just to like I said, if I'm working on someone who does have smaller set eyes, like those lighter shades are really going to play a part in me doing their eyeshadow because I'm trying to bring their eyes forward and make their eyes look bigger. So there is a time and a place, and there's a difference between a shade that maybe is too light from your complexion versus something being ashy. Just because a shade might be too light for your complexion, or you feel like it's too light for your complexion, doesn't mean that it's an ashy shade. Whenever I think of ashy, it is something that, one, the formula is just trash, it's chalky, you put it on, it looks white, there's no saturation whatsoever. To me, that is what ashy is. Like, we've got to stop calling every shade that might not necessarily work for your skin tone ashy, because that's not the case. And also, everything ain't for everybody. I know we are in a makeup movement right now where, you know, everyone's like, oh, well, that won't work for me, that won't work for me, and that's okay. Everything's not gonna work for you. And I'm not talking about shade ranges. Throw shade ranges out of the window. I'm talking about maybe color stories might not work for you, might not be your preference. I'm talking about maybe a formula of a foundation. Maybe, you know, if you have dry skin and there's a new matte foundation coming out, okay, so they have the shade range available for you, but if that's a formula that's not for your skin type, it's okay. Everything isn't for everybody. I feel like when you have formulas, difference in formulas, that's not a way to try to exclude people. All right, next up here, now we are going to take the shade Voodoo, this deep, deep purple, and a pencil brush. And this is going directly in the crease here. And the reason why I'm using a pencil brush is because I'm trying to be very, very strategic with the placement. This pencil brush is not going to blend out anything for me. It's just a matter of me trying to get this exactly where I want it. Then I'll go in and blend it out. I can't tell you what type of pencil brush this is because there's no more writing on it. All right, now I'm just going to begin to blend this out. Going back in with our first shade, that corally tone, and popping that back in the crease to help blend more. Then I'm going to take the Morphe M514 with the shade Voodoo, and now I'm just gonna go in a little bit more, deepen her up. Pull it in just a tish. All right, going back in with our flat brush, this beautiful, almost kind of violet tone here. Well, more like magenta, I take that back. And now we're just going to press this on the center and the outer. Going back with the MAC 224 and just blending everything together. All right, taking a pencil brush, I'm gonna go in with Voodoo, that deep purple on the waterline. And I'm gonna take a little bit of Aya, this shade right here. Go under just to brighten some more. Taking this Ela mascara on the bottom and a little bit on the top. We're wearing a lash again today. Who am I? I don't even know anymore. And using Demi Wispies for lashes. Let's see, tweezers. My favorite lash glue to use is by Eyelure. I am not even sure if this is available anymore. This one was the one with Vegas Nay. I like it because I don't like the squeezy lash adhesives because I always squeeze too much out. I like this because it has a little wand and I am I'm in control over how much glue I can actually put on the lash versus squeezing the tube and all the glue come flying out. All right, and we'll just, I like to kind of pinch it so that way it has more of the curve. Makes it a little bit easier to get onto my lash. Then we're gonna let it dry. Okay, Now, how I apply my lashes. I have naturally curly lashes, so therefore I'm not someone that needs to curl mine because they already go up. So when applying my lashes, a little tip that I like to do, I have to tilt my head back, because if I try to go in straight on, this is going to land directly on my lashes. I need this to go behind my lash. So hold my tweezers up and I will tilt my head back and just drop it on top of my lash. Now once I get it on top, then that is when I will maneuver it around. So I like to kind of stick it on the center first, then I will just move it to where I want on the outside and then on the inner. And boom, we have a lash on. Now we'll go in and kind of squeeze. Please be careful if you're using tweezers. Do not pinch your eye. If you are someone that has curly lashes like me, try that out and see if it helps you. I found that tilting my head back and then dropping the lashes down on top of mine helps me out a ton. I just can't ever seem to do it on myself. If I just try to go straight in, it's on my lashes, it's a hot mess. Now I have glue all over my lashes. It's a mess. It's just a mess. Then you just wait for that to dry down. If you need to, go in a little bit over it with some liner. I'm really enjoying the look of the lashes without the thick liner on the top. That's just me. I feel like sometimes if you go in too thick with the liner and then lashes, it can take away from all your eyeshadow work and the lash. So that's just me. For lips today, what are we thinking? Taupe is an oldie but a goodie by MAC. I can never go wrong with it. And voila, amigas. This is the look. All right, y'all, let's talk about the Safari palette. So I purchased mine over the holidays when it was buy one, get one on her site. I got this one in Lila. This palette has always spoken to me. I love mattes and I love earthy tones. This, yes, all of that, give it to me. Now I'll go ahead and say right now, if this is not your color story, if these are shadows that you would not reach for, do not get this palette. It would be a waste. Don't buy things that you're not interested in just because it's on sale. Secondly, if you don't like mattes, well then there is absolutely no point in you whatsoever purchasing this palette. This palette is not for you. Now, I know when this palette first came out, it was extremely polarizing. A lot of people were saying that this was not her traditional formula. I don't have any issues with these shadows. I have used them all. They all blend out beautifully. The pigmentation is there. It's smooth, easy to blend. Like I said, I picked this up last Christmas around the holiday time, so December 2019, and I didn't have any issues with it. I'm guessing maybe since the palette came out and when I ordered it, she maybe tweaked the formula, but I didn't have any issues with it. So hopefully this was helpful for you if you were someone who was kind of on the fence about this palette, these shades, how they blend. I love it. I am ecstatic that I have it in my collection. This is a palette that I use weekly. So that is going to wrap up today's eyeshadow tutorial. I'll have more coming with this one, you guys, so you can see these other shades here. I had these, like the rhino and the more blue-green tones on in a previous video, probably about 3 weeks ago, but I'll make sure that we do another toot with this palette. All right, y'all. Don't forget, you guys, my Master Your Face virtual makeup sessions one-on-one with me is live. I'll be sure to leave that link down below. If you would like to have a one-on-one makeup session with me, you know the deal. Keep it simple, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.